Okay, everybody, we're going to go on and get started with class. So, hello, everybody. Hello. Grey Wolf, welcome in. Welcome in for Japanese lesson session 15. Woohoo! Finally, right? I apologize again, guys, for missing the lesson on Wednesday. I had many things happening that Wednesday. I believe I had mentioned that my cat that previous night. In fact, I had taken a Benadryl that previous night, so because I was trying to get to bed, and my cat had other plans. My cat was like, "I'm going to run circles in your house and make as much noise as possible. So sleep is for the weak and it's not for you." So I didn't get any good rest. After that, I couldn't nap at all either because I had meetings after school, and those meetings were not as productive as I was hoping, and I'm still waiting on data from other teachers for a document that was due like yesterday. But that's real life apparently. Like, people can be so unreliable. But hey, yeah, Mean Cat is right. So Astronautics, Foxy, Eli, Grey Wolf, welcome in. Welcome to class. Today we are going to go over chapter 4. Well, this is like before before yeah, before chapter 4. Because there's quite a bit. If you look at the message, we're just starting. We are going to begin with the kanji. We're going to learn how to count minutes, the days, and the months, which for some of you may be a review, and I think we may go over. We may go through those very quickly, and if time allows, we will then try our first grammar point, which is describing the location of objects using aru or iru. So first things first, I'll do my usual spiel. If you would like to follow along with the Japanese lessons, we're currently on session 15. But if you're new, please join the Discord. I will show you those resources in a moment. in the Discord, it will ask you to adhere to the rules. They're very simple rules, very generic. Just like agree by reacting with Jack Love, and it will give you access to all the Discord channels that you see here on the left, with the exception of the Japanese ones. Remember, this is my personal Discord for my gaming, so if you do want access to the Japanese lessons, click on Role Selector first. On Role Selector, if you like access, it's right here at the very bottom. React with Jack Sip. So far, 41 of you have reacted to this. That's really nice. And the resources become available. For general resources, it's just like suggestions on what you will need. I recommend that you get at least 2 notebooks. One for grammar and practice, and one for kana kanji. You don't need the third, you don't need the textbook. I do recommend it, but you do not need it to do the online lessons that I'm doing with you guys. Japanese chat, generally like general, just basic things like how do we do this? Could you explain this? Or maybe even like this is happening in Japan, or this is the new video game in Japan, or look at this new anime thing. The Japanese one resources are here. I do have a YouTube playlist where you can find the recordings of all previous lessons. We're currently on session 15, but you can find sessions 1 through 14 here. These are chapters 1, 2, and 3. Go back to Discord. As well as the notes from the previous chapter. We're now on the chapter 4 notes because we have completed chapter 3 as of last week. Wait, I'm still showing this. So first things first, remember on, when was the last time I did these lessons? I did it on Tuesday. The first thing we did was go over the vocabulary that will be in chapter 4, and I want to go through these again pretty quickly. So for those of you in the document, you can find the flashcards here. It opens up a Quizlet, and Quizlet may ask you to sign in or make an account. It's free, and I strongly recommend it because it's a great resource to use if you need like flashcards for studying. In fact, even I still use these outside of teaching for myself. I haven't reached the point where I need to study vocabulary words again yet, but I feel like I'm getting there. Some of the words we have like geimu, arubaito, kaimono, kurasu, inu, neko, hito. This is actually kanji we'll learn today. Hito, kodomo, anata, isu, tsukue, shashin. I'm sorry if I'm going fast with these. I apologize because I did go over these last time. I'm just going over them pretty quickly. Hana, reporto, gohan, pan, otera, kouen, super, baste, byoin, hoteru, honya, machi, restaurant, kino, chikan, senshu, toki, getsuyobi, kayobi, suiyobi, mokuyobi. Did I spell one of these wrong? No, I didn't. Okay. Kinyobi, au, aru, and these are our verbs. These are our u verbs, first of all. Au, aru, kau, kaku, toru, matsu, wakaru. And then our only ru verb, iru. Then we have gurai, gomen nasai, sorekara, dakara, takusan, to, doushite, hitori de, moshi moshi, migi, hidari. There are a lot of words. Especially these at the very end, guys, we will be using this for grammar much later on. And this is probably the most important thing we learn in this chapter. Migi, hidari, mae, ushiro, naka, ue, shita, chikaku, tonari, and aida. Like I said, just rushing through those very quickly for today's lesson since I did go over them before. If you are just seeing the notes, you may have seen that I added the kanji here. I put these on the Discord because I felt bad for not doing a lesson on Wednesday. But the first thing we're going to do in class today is learn how to write these. So if you do have a writing utensil and paper to practice on, I recommend you follow along with me as we work on the stroke order on how to use how to write these kanji correctly. Let me get my iPad ready for you guys. I hope you guys are doing okay today, by the way. Thanks for coming in. So, our first thing to do, mazu, kanji no kakikata o oshiete agemasu. I will teach you how to write these kanji. Where's the number for the airplay code? Oh, there we go. 7785. So, 今日の漢字を書き方を書き方? Oh, Oshiete agemasu. I will teach you how to write. Alright, so here we go. Oops, I want it here. And actually, 1 second, so I don't forget. Alright. Our first kanji is going to be nichi, or sometimes referred to as ni. This kanji is used for Sunday, which is nichiyobi, as well as for Japan, nihon. It can also be used together to make days, like a day, hi or hibi. And so to write this is the stroke order for nichi. Ichi, ni, san, yon. Remember, for that second stroke, it's going to be like, it looks like 2 lines, but it's actually just 1 stroke. So one more time, I'll do this in a different color. I'll do this one in blue. We have ichi, ni, remember that one, ni, then san, and yon. Are you guys able to see the stroke order, or is it kind of difficult? Because if it's difficult, I'll write it on a different box. In fact, let me get my book real quick. You can see it? Okay, cool. And again, this is nichi or ni. Maybe do 1 color per stroke. I could try it that way. Let's see. So let's see. I'll start with 1, 2, 3. Because like there are gonna be many strokes eventually. I could do it this way. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that help? And again, it would be ichi, ni, san, yon for this one. There we go. This is nichi or ni. And again, this one means day or sun. I'll try to leave at least 2 up at a time for you guys. The next kanji is going to be hon, or book, or basis. Combine this with nichi, we get nihon, or Japan. What this means is, from this point forward, whenever I talk about Japan in Japanese, I will be using the kanji. So, nihon for Japan. The stroke order is going to be ichi, ni, san, yon, go. I'll just do this one more time in blue, and then put the arrows in for you guys. So, ichi, ni, san, yon, go. So, ichi, ni, san, yon, go. I hope that one's okay, because like having some of the lines, like that one line going for number 2 intersect, slightly bothers me. But can you guys understand that at least? これはわかりますか? So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is hon. If we put these 2 together, we get nihon, or Japan. Nihon. Nihon no kakikata desu. This is how to write Japan in kanji. Kanji de nihon no kakikata desu. And remember, this one means book or basis. I will move on. I'll leave this one still available for you guys to see and copy if you want to in your journals. Sugi, or next. Sugi no kanji wa hito or jin. Hito or jin. And this is person. Now, be careful with this one because this is it is pretty specific how you write this one. So for hito or jin, we have ichi, ni. And I'm gonna double check that just to be sure, because I don't like how I did the second stroke. No, that's about right. Hon is hon. Yes. Like Nihon. This could be like together. This could be Nihon for Japan, or by itself it could be book. But the next one, and I'll do this in blue this time. We have ichi, ni. So 1, 2. And this kanji is hito or jin, which means person. So ichi, ni. Now, please be very careful with, I showed you the stroke order for this, but there is another kanji, ichi, ni, which looks very, very similar. This does not mean the same thing, though. This is more for, like, this is kind of like, ireru, which means to pour, or to put in, or to enter. This is like ireru or hai, I think it's hairu. Which means like to enter, to pour, different meaning entirely. And this is one of those instances where you must be very careful with how you write your kanji. So I said these two together make Nihon. Nihon Jin. What does that mean, chat? Do you remember? Nihon Jin no imi wa nan desu ka? Nihon Jin. Nihon Jin. So Nihon together is Japan. Nihon Jin. Yes, Japanese person. Looked like, yep, always thought Iru looked like Hairu looked like a lambda. It makes me think of the Assassin's Creed symbol now that I look at it. Kitsuneko yokoso ne. Nihonjin, Japanese person. Foxes, yokoso. Alright, so I'll leave hito here. Our next kanji will be getsu, gatsu, or tsuki. Getsu, gatsu, or tsuki. And this means moon. On its own, it means moon. But it is used in multiple ways, and in fact, we've been using this for a bit now. So for the stroke order, we have Ichi. Notice that does curve at the very bottom. Ichi. Ni. Oh, I hate how I did that. Sorry, I want to redo that. I want to redo. Ichi. Ni. There we go. San. Yon. Again, ichi. Ni? Ah, like, because it's so large, I hate how it's curved there. It should be straight. San. Yon. And then the red for the stroke order. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that is how you moon someone. Getsu. So again, ichi, ni, san, yon. You guys. So that's the stroke order for getsu, gatsu, tsuki. Now, you may be wondering why there are 3 ways to say this one kanji. First of all, that's Japanese for you. There will be multiple ways to say the same kanji. This means moon. We've used this word already in getsuyobi, which means Monday, which is one of our new vocabulary words, getsuyobi. We've used it for like sangatsu, which is March, and by itself for moon it would be tsuki or ski. Nothing has to be straight, Jaku Sensei. That is true. That is very true. Unless you're a calligraphy master, then they will be very picky. But yes, very true. So this is getsu, gatsu, tsuki for moon. Our next kanji is ka or hi for fire. Ka or hi for fire. When I was teaching this to my high schoolers, this is where they started saying things like, oh, I recognize these from Power Rangers. And I'm like, that's cute. The stroke order for ka or hi. Hold on, I gotta double check because I'm used to doing it. Okay, I'm correct. Alright, that's what I thought. So, for this. Ichi. Ni. San. Yon. Again. Ichi. Ni. San. Yon. One. 2. 3. And 4. And we've technically used this also. If you've been watching Kitsuneko's stream, you may... Actually, I don't know if you do this one. But for Kayobi, which is Tuesday. This kanji can sometimes be... I think it's hou, like H-O-U, I believe. Hou for fire. Ich, ni, san, shi. Fire ga. Fire. Fire. PK fire. Our next kanji, and I'm sorry if this is taking too much time, guys, but I really love writing the kanji in Japanese. Our next kanji will be sui or mizu, which is for water. We've used it as suiyobi for Wednesday, and one of our vocabulary words before was mizu for water. Mizu o nomimasu, you drink water. When you look at the animation for the move Fire Blast in Pokemon, there's ka when it hits the target. That is correct. It uses a giant ka or hi sign. Mizu. Okay, so for this one, Ichi. Ni. I want to redo that because the balance is already bad. Let me try this again, guys. Sorry. So, Ichi. Ni. San. Chi. Ichi. Ni. San. Yon. 1, 2, 3, 4. For some reason, your IME keyboard does not want to turn on. I've had that issue a few times recently. Now that you mention it, I've had to it turns on and off depending on what window I'm looking at, and I'm used to it just being on all the time. Ichi. Ew, gross. Ichi. Ni. San. Yon. Mizu or sui. One of my Japanese professors, I can't remember which one it was saying that they really liked this kanji because it was like... Here, oops. It was like... how do I say this? This kanji is basically like... This line here is the water's surface. This is an object on one side of this water's surface. And this is that same object, but it's distorted by the ripples of the water. And I'm like, that's kind of pretty. I don't know if that's really the case, but that was a nice way of thinking of this. I'm glad you're doing this because students need to learn how to start thinking about kanji as made up of component strokes. Yeah, like my example for this, especially with the stroke order, is that think of it like cursive. I mean, we don't really use cursive, but because I had a big fight, not really a fight, but like my students would argue, what is the point of stroke order? As long as you're writing it, it should be fine. But I said it's part of it's like it's really about tradition and expectations in Japanese. Like if I was to write my name or like here like Kitsuneko. There's like a specific way I do this without lifting my pen. If I were to do it in any order I wanted to, like what the hell is that now? You can't understand that. It looks like I put an R, not a K, by the way. Like, similar to how we teach cursive, there's a specific way, there are specific rules that you do it. Not only that, especially since when the wait, I didn't want that. Go away. Okay, when this was when the Japanese were doing kanji, they were using brushes. They didn't have pencils or pens like we do now. So this was the stroke order was a way for them to, even when they were like writing quickly, understand what the kanji was. Especially because kanji does have a cursive form. Or like I don't know what it's really called, but there is like a form where it looks like it's cursive. They can be kind of difficult to read if you don't know the stroke order. Our next one, mokuyobi. Moku or ki. And if I look at the list here, moku or ki means tree. So like Thursday is Trees Day. Yes, exactly. They especially, you know what, you're right. The OCR, like if you like use a dictionary device or even your phones now, and you try to write a kanji and you don't put it in the stroke order, you're not gonna find it. For anyway, moku ki for tree. Ichi, ni, san, yon. Oops, that's wrong. Hold on. Ichi, ni, san, yon. So, ichi, ni, san, yon. And this is the kanji for moku or ki for tree. It looks just like the kanji for hon or book. So be very careful with this, like, because there's no line underneath here. So if I look at between the two, here is, wait, I wrote it wrong. Holy crap, I did write it wrong. No, I did it correctly. Yes, I did it correctly. All right, sorry, I panicked for a moment. Because there's another kanji very similar, like oki is very similar to this. So what I tell my students is like, if you're writing about a tree, you have a tree like this. Ichi, ni, san, yon. You have a tree. Books are made out of paper, which you get from cutting trees. So that fifth line is you cutting the tree. That's what I tell my kids. That's how you get book. Die panic. Good way to remember both. Like, here's a tree. When you cut the tree, you make books with that tree. But this is moku ki. And we use this for mokuyobi, which is Thursday. The next kanji is going to be kin or kane, which means gold or money. We use this kin for kinyobi, which means Friday. Kinyobi ni taite kitsuneko-san wa eiga o eiga. How do you say like you show a movie? Like miseru? You show movies. To show miseru ne? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank for that one. I should know that word. Anyway, kane or kin for gold. Yeah, that would work. Okay. So we are going to start with Ichi, ni, san, yon, go, roku, nana, hachi. Out of all the kanji, this one has the most so far. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go, roku, nana, hachi. You missed Brave in the first 2 episodes of A Perfect Planet last night. Oh, I did, didn't I? I think I needed, like, last night, I needed time to myself after Raid. Like, I feel like yesterday I didn't get enough time. Oh, I know why. Because I was stressed over a document I was working on. So, like, after Raid, I was just like, I need to just lie down. So here we go again. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go, roku, nana, hachi. Okay, this is a little confusing. I'm sorry. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go, roku, nana, hachi for Keen. Who likes writing this kanji? Because we've got one that's amazing to write in a moment. In fact, the red lines are going to be very confusing for that one. So I will do it multiple times, and I will do it slowly for when we do that one kanji. Now, we have ni, nichi, which for sun or Sunday, nichiyobi. We added hon and jin. Then we have getsu, ka, sui, moku, kin. Now we need Saturday, and Saturday is do, or suchi, which means soil. Do, or suchi. Ichi, ni, san. That one line's too long, I don't like it. Ichi, ni, san. There we go. Ichi, ni, san. Wait, it's yellow. Why is it yellow? I don't want it yellow. I want it red. Ichi, ni, san. I hope the red lines are still helpful, because I know it kind of got crowded in the last one. Ichi, ni, san. That's ugly. I want to do this again. Ichi, ni, san. These are supposed to be connected, by the way. I apologize. Ja, mina, 質問がありますか? Any questions before I go on to the next one? We do have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 more kanji to learn how to write for this unit. And then I will be going over numbers again. Foxy さんも質問がありますか? 質問があるかな皆さん。多分ないね。これは書き方だけだからね。Alright, so our next one, this kanji is for weekday. It is yo. Good luck, everybody else. Okay. Alright. I have to prepare myself for this one too. So I had to redo them. Oh no. Alright, so for this one, and maybe I will do this one a few times, so you may want to watch first. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go, roku, nana, 8 9 10 Let me make sure I do the next part right. 11 12 Alright. 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 And this is the kanji for yo for weekday, and you can find it here at the very top. Right here. This pretty one right here. I lost count on how many strokes that was, by the way. Alright, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do this again. It was 8. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Ichi. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 Hold on, did I make it? 14 15 16 17 18 Yes, 18 18 Okay. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 This is not helping in this one. 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 Yeah, that just looks like that looks like a puzzle piece, and that just looks kind of complicated. I still remember the faces of my students as they saw this, like their mouths literally dropping. I did have a few of those students that were like challenge accepted, and they became really good at drawing this or writing this. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 And this is yo. Do you guys want me to write this again? Drawing, writing, not sure there's a difference here. This is because these are symbols, so technically we are drawing them. This because Japanese is a logographic language. Now, it's okay, guys. The last 4 kanji are simple. I will do this one more time, especially like, well, and then I'll show you guys how to write these in a moment. What to do days of the week. The next word is ue, or which means above or on. And this one's pretty simple. We have ichi, ni, san. Be careful, this is similar to do or suchi. It's just at the very top, the line does not go through the center. So, ichi. Oops, sorry, it's supposed to be blue. Ichi, ni, san. Ichi, ni, san. And this is ue for above. Ue or on. Like this one. Ue. Above. On. I'll give you guys a few more moments. I'm going to take a small break to get a drink. Or just to like take a few sips of my drink anyway. It's right here. So that you can try this. Jesse 君、こんばんは。今日漢字の書き方を教えてあげますよ。 これが第4課の漢字です。もう日、本、人、月、火、水、木、金、土、曜、上を教えてあげた。I've already taught these. So that one was ue for above. Our next kanji is shita for below. And remember, I showed you guys the Naruto clip last time with Sakura trying to find Kakashi. And she used all the location words to find him. So shita for below. Ichi. Ni. San. And if you look, ue and shita, they're very similar. Like, the line is above the big line, or the line is below the big line, so that you can tell the difference. So, ichi, ni, san. Ichi, ni, san. I don't like the end to this song. Cold coffee? No. Because of the fighting noises in the background. I don't like that one. Again, ichi, ni, san. My high school students liked this word. They always thought it was funny. Like, you piece of shita, and I'm like, no, please don't do that. So rude. Where would order ever come in handy? Calligraphy? I honestly don't know. Usually in calligraphy, but I like to use cursive as an example, which I guess nowadays you could say the same thing when it's cursive handy. But like the specific stroke order was created because they used brushes or fude back then when they were back in old Japan. So if people were writing quickly, the stroke order made it legible so that they were so able to read it. Whereas if you were to do this quickly in any order, like 1, 2, 3 versus 1, 2, 3, they understood this one and then could not understand kind of like this, because this one also now looks like this in a way. I'm not good at cursive kanji on my own, but it's kind of like similar saying, like, if I were to say write your name in cursive, Force, I can read that because I did it in the correct order. But if I did not do it in the correct order, like EFRCO, it's kind of difficult to understand. And that's the best way I can like try to relate stroke order to in regards to English speakers. That's more justification of why we do it that way, or why it's done like that in Japan. Our next kanji, we did ue, shita. Next one's going to be naka, or chu, which means middle or inside. So for this one, ichi, ni, san, yon. I lost my pencil. I wash the dishes while watching. So, ichi, ni, san, yon. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, this is middle or inside, naka. Ichi, ni, san, yon. And the very last kanji for this unit, which I will start using more, is han. We learned han before. Do you guys remember what was han? Like, when we said, like, ichiji han. What was that han? Han. Actually, I wonder how did I explain han before? Anyway, the kanji for it, yes, it means half. So we have ichi, ni, san, shi, Go. And again, it is Ichi, ni, san, shi, go. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go. So not only have we now learned our numbers in kanji, we also learned how to say like toki or ji in kanji. We've learned half in kanji. We've learned en or yen in kanji. And we've learned the days of the week in kanji. So that's a lot of kanji that we can make combinations with at this point, guys. And in our lesson, since I've already taught these, I will now be using them very often. Again, ich, ni, san, shi, go. If you would like to review the stroke order again, at this point, you're going to have to either watch the rewatch the YouTube video or this. Let me phrase it. Sorry, you're going to have to rewatch this lesson on YouTube so that you can pause it for each of these symbols. So again, the kanji that we have learned. Sometimes if someone doesn't know what kanji you mean in Japan, you trace the character out on your palm. If you use the wrong order, it's super confusing. Yeah, there's that too. Like if someone's like, "What are you trying to say?" and you like try to trace it. It's the same with like dictionaries nowadays. Like if you see a kanji you don't know and you try to use your finger on your smartphone to type to write it in, if you do it in the wrong stroke order, it will not recognize it. So here are the kanji. We have nichi, or ni, which means sun, or day. Then we have hon, which means book, or basis. Together we get nihon, which is Japan. The base of the sun, the basis of the sun, the land of the rising sun, where the sun comes from. Then we have jin, or hito. By itself, this will be hito. Connected with other words like nihon, jin, the kanji means is read as jin, and this is person. Then we have getsu, gatsu, tsuki, which means moon. Ka, or he, for fire. Mizu, or sui, for water. Ki, or moku, for tree. Kin, or kane, for gold or money. Do, or tsuchi, for soil. And then our hard one, yo, for weekday. Ue, for above or on. Shita, for below. Naka, or chu, for middle or inside. And han, for half. These are the new kanji that I will I will now start using like all the time with you guys. Alright, that's it for kanji for today, guys. I will put my iPad away because we're done with the iPads, and we'll go back to the notes. I don't know about you guys, but I really like when it comes to kanji and writing. Like when I was in college, calligraphy was one of my favorite classes. Foxes, you're correct. We can now write weekdays. And that's great. We can now write weekdays. I can close this out now. Yes, close out. So, in fact, why don't we do that first for our kanji? Because the things I wanted to do next were days of the week, months, minutes, using numbers again. So first, let me insert my table. And because this is the beginning class, we're starting with a nice dark blue color. We'll make it bold, and the font will be white. Excuse me. And we will call this session. It's not bolded. Session 15. Kanji. Kanji. Days of the week. Months. Days of the months. And minutes. In fact, we're going to be using numbers a lot for today, and this may be it. I can erase this now. So we already did the kanji, and I put them up here in the notes for you guys to see. I did not put the stroke order, unfortunately. I don't know how to do that on like a Google form. But I did put the kanji and what each of these mean. In fact, here, let me do this. Title. Days of the week. Kanji edition. So, last chapter, we were given the weekends. We were given Sunday and Saturday already. So, if you are following along, let's see, 1, 2. We will have these. And then I'll make this a nice color here. Let's center this too. Align this in the center. We'll bold it and make it bigger. So, using the kanji, I will give you guys an example. Like, we had Sunday already, which was Nichi, Yo, B. That's the wrong B. There we go. Now, be very careful. Notice that Nichi and B have the same symbol. That's confusing. But it's unfortunately how Japanese works. There are multiple ways to read each kanji, and it really depends on what it's connected with. Remember from before, we have, this could be Nichi, Ni, or B. Sometimes even He by itself. In this case, it's going to be Nichi for sun, Yobi for weekday. So this would be Nichi, Yobi. Nichiyobi. And this, of course, means Sunday. And then last chapter, we also learned Saturday, which was Do, Yo, and again, B. For Doyobi. Do, Yo, B. And of course, this is the Saturday. So I know I can't hear you guys, but go ahead and try to repeat these with me. For Sunday, Nichiyobi. 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 今日は日曜日じゃないです。Today is not Sunday. 今日は土曜日じゃないです。Today is also not Saturday. In fact, actually, it's like 今日も土曜日じゃないです。Today is also not Saturday. I think I used that correctly. Now, the thing is, you may notice a pattern already. The kanji yo and bi are used for both of these days of the week. And that's going to repeat for the rest of them. So I'll put in yobi in all of these. And if you are writing this chart in your grammar journal, if you guys have one, use this as an opportunity to practice writing yobi. Because that yo is really fun to write, guys. So Monday will be yes. And we're literally going to be going in order from here. So Monday is going to be getsu. Getsu yobi. Getsu yobi. Getsu yobi for Monday. It's just another case of the Mondays. It's another case of the Getsu yobi. How would you say that in Japanese, actually? Getsu yobi, the day for Sailor Moon. Our next one is going to be Fire's Day, or Tuesday, which is Kayobi. 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 For Tuesday. Hai, so desu, Fox-san. そうですよ. Kayobi for Tuesday. Then Sui, not Mizu, but Sui for Wednesday or Water's Day. Yes, Fire Day. So, Sui, Yobi. Suyobi. For when, I want this all uppercase. Wednesday. So, Kayobi for Sailor Mars. Suyobi for Sailor Mercury. This is how I like associated it for some reason. Thursday would be Moku. Mokuyobi. Or Trees Day. Mokuyobi. Mokuyobi. Thursday. Trees Day. For Sailor Jupiter. Interesting to note that, in, like, Greek and Roman mythology, Jupiter was always associated with thunder, whereas in Japan, the planet Jupiter was associated with wood. I think that somehow translated to Sailor Jupiter having both, flower, wood, plant, and thunder powers. Because I remember when I found out she had Jupiter Oak evolution, I'm like, what the hell? Where did this come from? And of course, our last one, Keen. Keen for gold. Keen Yobi. Keen Yobi. I spelled that wrong. Keen Yobi. For Friday. Hold on, that's wrong. Friday for Sailor Venus. Yes, that's what I was thinking of. For Kinyobi. As I color these with the Sailor Scout colors. Nichiyobi. So our days of the week. Nichiyobi. Getsuyobi. Kayobi. Suiyobi. Mokuyobi. Kinyobi. And Doyobi. So, キツネコさん、一番好きなセーラー戦士は誰ですか？私にとって、ミナコさんが一番大好きです。So here are our days of the week. So if I were to ask, 今日は何曜日ですか? If I were to ask, 今日は何曜日? Hold on. 何曜日? Because I'm using the kanji now. 何曜日ですか? 今日は何曜日ですか? What does this mean, first of all? 今日は何曜日ですか? Because these are words we did learn already. 今日は何曜日ですか? 一番好きだったのはセーラーJupiter. Today, what day is it? That is correct. What is today? So what, basically what weekday is it today? Or like what day is it? 今日は何曜日ですか? And to answer this, you would replace that non with the correct, here, I'll highlight this one. To answer this, you would just replace that non. So 今日は何曜日ですか? You could say 今日は、今日は何? 今日は土曜日です. Today's Saturday. It's Saturday? I thought it was Friday for some reason. 今日は土曜日です. And you don't need that ka because it's not a question. 今日は土曜日です. Today is Saturday. そして、days of the week. 質問がありますか? Any questions? Now, I did tell you guys, like, especially for, like, these sounds, like, nichiyobi. I am going to exaggerate some of these held sounds for a while. Like, nichiyobi, getsuyobi, 11 instead of like 11, 11. Like I'm exaggerating them a bit so you guys can hear them or get used to it. Alright, so that's days of the week. The next one is going to be months, and months is going to go by very, very, very quickly. So months in Japanese. When stating the month, you just need a number plus gatsu. Because even though this gatsu means moon, in fact I'll put this up here, it could be, it could mean moon or month. Which is kind of like interesting because it's like, if you think about it, lunar calendar kind of thing. So when stating the month, you just need the number plus gatsu. And I'm going to highlight this. Number plus gatsu for months. January. Let's do it this way so I can save space. Now, the counting for months is really easy. There are only 2 exceptions, though. So for each of these here, I will put, let me center these and bold them. We'll do these in English. So I don't want these. Why are they? Here we go. January. No, why are they all? No highlight. No highlight. January. February. March. April. May. June. July. And this is really simple. August. September. October. November. And of course December. So for each of these, we're just going to use numbers that go associated with these months. The only exceptions with how to say these are, there are 2, and I'm gonna highlight them now. There are only 2 that have exceptions. So our January is our first month. So in Japanese, we're just going to use Ichi. I don't want these highlighted. There we go. So we're just going to use Ichi. And then we use Gatsu. So Ichi, the kanji. Gatsu. Remember, in this case, it's not Getsu like in Monday, Getsuyobi. The counter for months will be Gatsu. So same kanji, just different reading. So Ichigatsu. Ichigatsu. In which case, what do you think February is going to be? Our second month. What will February be? And this will be very quick, guys, because I think you guys understand this part already for months. Since I not only have I been kind of using them, I know Kitsuneko-san has been using months a lot as well, in her lessons. Okay. I'm so surprised that Twitch wanted to auto mod that already. I feel bad. But yes, Nigatsu. Oh my god. Twitch, why? I wasn't even thinking that. But yes, Nigatsu for February. Ni for number 2. And then the kanji, Gatsu. Nigatsu. What is March? What is this month in Japanese? Nangatsu desu ka? What is this month? Nangatsu. Ima wa nangatsu desu ka? Hai, 3月です。So 3, sorry. 3月. Oh, I did that wrong. 3月. Now this is where it's a little different. And the reason why I marked April was because since there are 2 ways of saying this, For this one, you're not going to say yongatsu. It's just going to be shigatsu. In fact, I guess I didn't really need to highlight this one. Shigatsu. Shigatsu. Yeah, I guess I didn't need to highlight this one, but I'll keep it highlighted because between yon or shi, you will use shigatsu for kongetsu. You're right, kongatsu. Kongatsu what? I can't believe I'm using the wrong word. So shigatsu, like she got you, or the month of death. I was born on the death of the month of death. In which case, May will be what month? How would we say May in Japanese? Mei wa Nihongo de nan to iimasu ka? So far we have Ichigatsu, Nigatsu, Sangatsu, Shigatsu. In fact, you guys are probably seeing this pattern at this point. Hai, Gogatsu desu. Gogatsu. Gogatsu. And it repeats. Sangatsu wa kongatsu desu. And then June will be, if we have Gogatsu, what is our number for 6, for our 6th month? Gogatsu, we have what? So, June wa Nihongo de nanto imasu kana? I wonder how we say it. Hai, 6月. 6月. Very good, guys. Oh, do they use, is it kongetsu? Oh, Roko. Shigatsu kimi no. Oh, to remember. July. In this case, I'll simplify this one. Shichigatsu. Kongetsu. Kongetsu wa nangatsu desu ka? Ah! But this one, Shichigatsu. And then, if you're making your charts, I'm gonna go on and finish this because I do want to do one more major thing before we go on. So, I hope it was... Your line... So, Shigatsu no... Or your line April. Shigatsu no... Is it Shigatsu no uso? Or would it be like... Shigatsu ni uso? Because it's in April. Shigatsu ni uso? Shita? Yes, Hachigatsu for August. Hachigatsu. When most students in America go back to class. Hachigatsu. And then September. This one is... And September is really the one that really should be highlighted, but instead of Kyugatsu, it's just Kugatsu. 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 Shigatsu wa kimi no uso. I don't think we're going to get to the first grammar point today, and that's fine. We'll do that on Monday. October. What is our 10th? How do we say our 10th month in Japanese? In fact, I don't think I'll get to minutes today, now that I think about it. Yes, 10月. 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 What would November be then? Some Coyote, you are correct. 11. Remember, you say the tens place first. Yes, we'll have to make some minute adjustments to the lesson plan. はい、そうだよね。So, 11月 for November. 11月. And I'll highlight these again since for these, remember, our tens place I said was green? Yes, green. Our ones place was blue. And then December for the 12th month, our final month. December は日本語で何と言いますか？12月。はい、そうです。12月。12月. And now we can actually use these for time references. So remember, our time reference particle is ni. So 4月に生まれました. I was born in April. What's the exception for April? Kind of like with July, you could say shichigatsu or nanagatsu. You can get away with either or, but for April, you can only use one. You can't use yon. Because it's only going to be shigatsu. You can't say yongatsu. Even though most Japanese people would understand, the correct way would be to say shigatsu. And that's the only reason why I've highlighted it, to be honest, because of how specific that one is. So, months, easy. Days of the week, also easy. Kanji, the writing, maybe not so much, especially because of yo, but we've already gone over a lot. Hitsuneko-san, is it nangetsu or nangatsu? So if I were to ask, why is it still highlighted? Darn this stuff. So if I were to ask, kyo, we haven't learned those yet. Kyo wa nangatsu? Kyo wa nangatsu nan-yobi desu ka? What am I asking here? Kyo wa nangatsu nan-yobi desu ka? Kyo wa nangatsu nan-yobi desu ka? Okay. So, because it's the name month you're asking for. Alright, that makes sense. So what is this question meaning? Like, Kyo wa nangatsu nanyobi desu ka? Kyo wa nangatsu nanyobi desu ka? Today, what month and day are we? Yes! Kyo wa nangetsu nanyobi desu ka? And now we do the fun part. Because you guys remember how I've always said that I don't like counting in Japanese. Well, here's another one. And this may be the last thing we do today because of time. Days. The days of the month. So we learned days of the week. We've learned the months. And now we need to know the numbered days of the month. So generally, the first 10 days in Japanese have different names, but after then there is a pattern that repeats until the 31st. Let's see. Day kanji. I can just do it this way then. So I do up to 10. There we go. We're gonna. In fact, there's gonna be a lot for this one. You know what? Here, let me add another column to the right. There we go. And then I'll add another row above, so that this is labeled easier for you guys when you look at these notes. So we have the day, the kanji, and the reading. Now, I put specific days here. The first 10 in Japanese are always going to be different. The 14th day and the 24th will follow a pattern. There is also a different way of saying the 20th. Now, the kanji is going to be simple. I'm still going to use Ichi and the kanji Nichi, but it is read differently. In fact, I'll make this bolded. The first day in Japanese, if anyone knows it, go in and type it. What is the first day of the month called in Japanese? What is the counter for this day? The first day of the month is what? And for those of you that do know it, go in and say it in the chat. What is the first day of the month? Because after this, then we will be able to say, we will be able to use all the kanji and numbers to pronounce all these. In fact, you can do this in my chat, my lessons, and with Kizuneko-sanzo. Hai, suitachi desu! So the first day will be suitachi. Suitachi. And that's the first day. Now, for the kanji, I can still use ni and nichi, but that is not how it's going to be read. Does anyone know, what is the second day of the month? The first, suitachi. The second, if I want to say, kyou wa sangatsu, today is March the 2nd. How would I say the second? If you know it, go in and say it in chat. Otherwise, I'll put it up for you guys. This one actually starts with fu. Tsu. Ka. Futsuka. The second day is going to be futsuka. So desu yo. So, the first day, suitachi. The second day, futsuka. Again, just like with the previous one, I can write san, nichi, and get the correct symbols. But that's not how this is said when saying the day of the specific day. Foxes, you're correct. It's mikka. Mikka. And for those of you guys saying this, be careful. It's not mika. It's mikka. Remember, that double consonant means that you need to pause. Technically, kind of like choke on that sound. I didn't teach it as ka. You're correct. Because in normal situations, it's not usually ka, though. Kizuneko-san, hidoi ne. Now, the fourth day, just like before, you can use... God damn it, Google Chrome. You know what? Fine. Here. Ka. Shiwase ni natta ne. God damn it, Google Chrome is a weird way to pronounce the day of the month. You're correct. That is a very odd way of pronouncing it. I'll make it 200. Alright, so the fourth day. I could write the kanji, yon, and then nichi. But again, that is not how this is pronounced. This is going to be... Wait, why? Why? Fine, 150. This is going to be yokka. There we go. Yokka. And just like before, remember, there's a double consonant there. Yokka. So, that just like with mikka, you kind of pause or choke on that sound a little bit. Yokka. Yokka. So we have suitachi, futsuka, mikka, yokka. For the 5th day, I can use gold and Nichi again. Just like before, this is not the correct way of saying this. Who knows the 5th day? Hai, itsuka. This will be itsuka. Itsuka. What about the 6th? Again, like Roku, Nichi, to get the symbols. And just like the others, this is not how you say this. Muika is correct. Muika. Muika. I actually like this one. This one's fun to say. Muika. Nana. Nichi. How would we say the 7th day? In fact, this one may be, out of all of them, this one may be the most familiar for some of you guys. Like, there are 2 ways to say the number 7 in Japanese. Shichi and nana. This one would be nanoka. Which sounds similar to nana already. Nanoka. So here we have hachi, nichi. Again, that's not how you say the 8th day. How would we say the 8th of the month? Suitachi, futsuka, mikka, yokka, itsuka, muika, nanoka. How would we say the 8th? That is correct. Yoka. This one can be tricky because depending on how you say it, do not confuse yokka with yoka. They are different. This is where this is specifically why I'm exaggerating for newcomers to Japanese. It's yokka for the 4th, yoka for the 8th. Yokka, yoka. Q, nichi. Tiny Drago? Oh, it's squished. I was like, what is that? What's the 9th day? This one's funny. I like this one. I think of specific trees with fruit. Actually, it's actually a nut. It's not a fruit. What is the 9th day of the month? Yes, kokonoka. Kokonoka. It sounds like my students are like coconuts. And I'm like, yeah, if that helps you remember. You have 9 coconuts. 9 kokonoka. Koko day, yes. Coconuts, or, yeah, kokonoka. Kokonoka. And then our 10th. Ju. Nichi. For the symbols. But how would we say the 10th day? Koko day. Koko day. How would we say the 10th? Toka. Toka. I actually have a hard time saying this, but it is, be careful, this is not touka, it's tooka. Toka versus touka. Toka. In fact, I'm gonna add another row below. Why? Go away. Go away. Thingy, go away. There we go. Alright. For some reason, this is stuck. And I can't get rid of it. No, I crashed Chrome again. There we go. Okay, maybe it went away. 11. Like, Chrome, why? So for 11 and 12, I'm doing this on purpose. And I'm gonna highlight 11 and 12. Because of this. So I said the first 10 days had different ways of saying them. The 11th is going to be Ju, Ichi, Nichi. Or Ju, Ichi, Nichi. And the reason why this is highlighted is because this pattern will now repeat. Ju, Ichi, Nichi. Ju, Ni, Nichi. This pattern is now going to repeat. Ju, Ni, Nichi. In which case, what do you think the 13th of the month is going to be? What is the 13th going to be if this pattern is now repeating? What will the 13th? That is correct. Ju. Oh my gosh. Ju, san, nichi. Ju, san, nichi. That is correct. So this pattern is now going to repeat. Except whenever you have the number 4. Except whenever you have the number 4. And because of that, I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to highlight the 4 also in green. So whenever there is a 4, the 4s are going to be special. Now, 4 by itself was yokka. Yeah, what's with the number 4, man? But it's going to be a little... It's going to be just like before. Ha, 4. We're still going to use Ju. But instead of saying Ju yon nichi, it's just going to be Ju yokka. Ju yokka. So 4. Yokka. Ju yokka. And what do you think the 24th is then going to be? If anything with a 4 is going to repeat this? What would the 24th day be then? Nijuyokka is correct. Ni-ju-yokka. Ni-ju-yokka. Nijuyokka. Now, the 20th, I think you can get away with saying niju nichi, but I think it's more customary to say, for the 20th, to say hatsuka. 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 So the big ones that you need to pay attention to are numbers 1 through 10, anything with a 4, and the 20th, Hatsuka. Now, the question I had from before, Kyo wa nangatsu, nan yobi, nan nichi desu ka? Yeah, it is nearly half of them. So, Kyo wa nangatsu, nan yobi, nan nichi desu ka? What does this mean, first of all? Kyo wa nangatsu, nan yobi, nan nichi desu ka? Kyo wa nangatsu, nan yobi, nan nichi desu ka? I should just close my school emails because it just stresses me out watching this. What does this question mean? Kyo wa nangatsu, nan yobi, nan nichi desu ka? Today, what day, month, plus number are we? That is correct. So, today, what month, day of the week, and number is it? And how would I answer this? I could say kyo wa to answer this. Kyo wa. So let's answer this with what we've known. Kyo wa nangatsu desu ka? Kyo wa nangatsu desu ka? Kyou wa nangatsu desu ka? What month is it? Kyou wa sangatsu. Hi, kyou wa sangatsu. Don't forget the final verb. Sangatsu desu. Sorry. Sangatsu, which I will now put in kanji. Desu. Kyou wa sangatsu desu. Today it is March. Nannichi desu ka? Kyou wa nannichi desu ka? Kyou wa nannichi desu ka? Hai, kyou wa 20日 desu. I need a... And I'm glad I taught you guys, because 今日は20日 desu. And the reason why, especially in the beginning, I was asking you guys to write this in hiragana is because if you said 20日 desu, the kanji would recognize that. But I don't know if you know it's different kind of thing. So 今日は20日 desu. Today is the 20th. そして今日は何曜日ですか？今日は何曜日？今日は何曜日ですか？ For our last one. 今日は何曜日ですか? And again, if you're in this, in looking at the notes also, 今日は何曜日ですか? 今日は何曜日ですか? Hi, 今日は土曜日です。Did I put the questions here? I did not. Okay. So 今日は I can replace nan here with ど. 今日は土曜日です。今日は土曜日です。Today it is Saturday. Today is Saturday. 今日は猫曜日です。It is Catterday. 猫曜日です。そして皆さん質問がありますか？ Do you have any questions? 質問がありますか？今日のレッスンについて質問がありますか？ Do you have any questions about today's lesson? So, all good, I think. So we're all good now with the days of the week. The biggest thing for today was mostly the kanji and knowing how to do the days. I feel like we're doing so much with numbers and I don't want to exhaust you guys. So we did days of the months, we did months, we did days of the week, we did the kanji. I guess I have time to do minutes. Because I taught you guys how to count hour from the hour and half hour. But minutes is a little different. But there is a pattern for it, fortunately, that does work. In fact, here we do. Minutes in Japanese. There are a few other words like senshu, raishu, saraishu that I need to teach you guys, but we'll worry about that next time. So time, minutes in Japanese. The counter for minutes is number plus fun. And yes, that is the same kanji for wakaru, for wakarimasu. But number plus fun. Now, depending on what number is in front of it, fun will be counted very differently. I'm going to show you guys 1 through 10, because that's all you really need for this. Number, kanji... How to say it. This song makes me think of Animal Crossings. So we have the minute, kanji and kana. And then I will center all of these. Let's center it all. Except for that one. And this will be the last thing. Yeah, this is going to be the last thing I will be working with you guys today. Because this is a lot with numbers. And I feel bad just doing numbers and more numbers. So our minute, like this. Kind of like this. Foxes-san to Jessie-san. これをわかりますかね? You already know this, correct? Or はいおいえ. I almost said sí or no for some reason, because I'm so used to saying that in Spanish for my students. 1分. That is correct. Alright, so how to say this? Remember, the kanji is going to be the same as like wakadu. We haven't learned this yet, but I'm going to teach it to you guys for now. Now, the counter is fun, but with number 1, it's going to be ippun. Ippun. Whenever there is a 1 in the minute, you're going to use ippun, regardless of what it is. Ippun. For 2 minutes, nifun. Oh my god. Nifun. In fact, let me just highlight the ones that are going to be different. That one's not supposed to be red, it's supposed to be orange like the others. So even though the counter is fun, these are the ones that will be different. That's a lot. Oh god. 3. Who remembers 3 minutes? Ippun, nifun, san what? In fact, let me double check this. I think I may have made a mistake. I know, puppy. 1 second. Yes, san pun. So again, san and then pun. So san pun. Sanpun. What about for 4? Yon what? Yon what? Yon... Yonpun, correct. Notice the ones with that are highlighted are gonna end with like pun. There we go. Now, this one's not highlighted, and the counter is fun, so what do you think 5 is going to be for 5 minutes? Yes, very simple. Go fun. Go fun. This one is highlighted again, so what would Roku be? And this one may be a little tricky, because it's not it's gonna be what? Roku-pun is a good guess, though. Very, very good guess. It's gonna be Rope-pun. So they completely just get rid of that K. Rope-pun. Rope-pun. What about 7? As a hint, this one's going to use Nana. Nanafun. 7 8 is going to be very similar to Roku. Which, Roku was not Roku-pun, it was Ropun. What do you think this is going to be instead? For Hachi. That is correct. Hapun. Hapun. What's happening? What about for Q? This one's not highlighted, so this one should be simple. Q. Q would be what? Q what? Using Q, but yes, Q-fun. Q-fun. Hold on. Q-fun. Is it Q-fun or is it Q-fun? No, it is Q-fun. Q-fun. Yeah, just like with, and like Ropyaku, Hapyaku, 6 and 8 do something similar. And then our last one, Ju will turn into what? Close. Jupun is actually gonna be Jupun. It's a small difference, versus like Jupun versus Jupun. But similar. This is where it's similar to 6 and 8. Jupun. Jupun. I'm actually gonna add an 11 here. And this is where the pattern is now going to repeat. Everything from here is now going to repeat for the rest of time. So 11. First off, we need that counter for 10. So what would that be? What's our counter for 10? What's our counter for just the 10? Yes, Ju. And then we go back through that 1 and use Ipun. So Ju, Ipun. Hold on, I'm done. Ju, Ipun. So we're still gonna use 10, Ju, and then repeat that 1. Ju, Ipun. Ju, Ipun. So after the 10, this is all going to just repeat. So what would 12 be? Type that in chat. What would 12 minutes be? Ju Nifun, that is correct. Ju Nifun, following this pattern. Ju Nifun. What about 20? What about 20? Type that in chat also. What would 20 minutes be? Correct, Nijupun. So we still need ni for the counter, and then we're gonna follow that rule with 10 minutes. Nijupun. So ni Jupun, not Nijupun, but Nijupun. No. There we go. Similar to the 10 here, Jupun. And what do we use for 30? For like 30 minutes. For like what if it's like 6:30? What would we use for that 30? You could use Sanjupun, but there was another way I taught you guys already. For like, if it was 6:30, yes, you could use Han. So Sanji Han for time. So like, if I said Ima for right now, hold on. Ima wa nanji, hold on, nanji desu ka? What? Ima wa nanji desu ka? What is this asking? Ima wa nanji desu ka? Ima wa nanji desu ka? What? Yes, what time is it? Now, you guys are in different time zones, so I want you to try typing in Japanese what time it is for you guys. Like, for example, for me, I would say Ima wa, it is 6 o'clock. Rokuji, yon... 42分 desu for me. 今は6時42分です。So for me, right now it is 6:42. How would you guys type the time for you guys? And the minute is changing. So go to the next minute. Do 43 for you guys. What time is it for you guys? 今は何時ですか？皆さんのこと。皆さんに。今は何時ですか？皆さん。I'll give you guys a frame that you can use in chat. Foxes, 今は午後6時43分です。For Astronautics, 今は9時43分 for him. For 9 o'clock, don't forget, 9時 for 9 o'clock. 今は9時43分です would be correct though. Don't forget des, guys. Don't forget the des. 今は9時43分です。Good. I hope these charts are really helping you and like highlighting the ones that follow irregular rules. 今は6時42分でした. It was because it was a minute ago. That is correct. And we did learn we learned past tense in this chapter too. 今は9時43分です. That is correct. Astronautics. Good job. そして皆さん質問がありますか? Any more questions? I will be putting time questions in the Discord for you to practice later, before Monday's lesson. そして皆さんそろそろ終わります. This is the end of today's lesson. I was a little worried because I wasn't sure. I felt like I may be over time, and it is a little overtime. But using ema was weird with weird. My bad. You like ema like right now it is. Darkstar, welcome. I'm actually about to raid out Darkle. So thank you guys for coming into class today. We learned how to write lots of kanji. We learned the kanji for the days of the week. We learned how to write. Technically, we learned how to write Japan. We learned how to write a Japanese person. We learned the kanji for person, as well as above, below, inside, or in the middle, as well as half. Then we learned the days of the week, the months of the year, as well as how to say technically the 31 days in a month. As well as minutes and time. So we did a lot today, guys. So thank you guys for coming in. Let's see, who can we raid out to next? Konnichiwa, Darkstar-san. Hajimemashite. That means nice to meet you, Darkstar. Pleased to meet you. Let's see. 誰がストリームしていますかな? 誰がストリーミングします? Does Kitsuneko do a lesson on Saturdays? It's been a while. I don't see them though. はい。そしてどこにいるかな? そろそろ始めますね。そうですね。Okay, so she will be starting soon. Thanks for the lesson. You guys are very much welcome. So if you guys do want to catch up on Japanese lessons, if you are just hopping in or if you've been lurking and you'd like to learn along with us, Discord will take you to my Discord. And I'll do this little speech again with you guys. This link will take you to the Discord, and to get access, you must agree to the rules of the server. There are 73 of you guys at least. Wow, that's amazing. Once you agree, you'll have access to all channels except for the Japanese lessons, which you will need to go to Role Selector and accept them. This is so that I don't flood my chat with a mix of my gaming and the Japanese lessons. This will open up the resources. Remember, we're currently on Japanese 1. And here you can find the previous lessons on YouTube. I have sessions 1 through 14 up. Today is session 15. So if you'd like to review, or if you'd like to begin from the start, you are free to do so. You are free to watch those lessons. You can also just look at the notes if you would rather doing that. We have our Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3 notes. We are currently working on our Chapter 4 notes for now. Here's the practice. I did put the kanji here from before. And I occasionally give practice problems, which several of you have been working on very studiously. So props for you guys. Thank you guys for doing that. So that's my Discord spiel. Let's see if I'll watch this again later for sure. All right, Jesse, because I know like numbers, minutes, like anything with numbers in Japanese, I tend to still struggle with. Like counting. Counting in Japanese. My goodness. Let's see. There's Kitsuneko. Kitsuneko. Oh, is she? It says Kitsuneko is offline. So, I mean, technically I could raid to them even though they're offline. Yeah, numbers with the exceptions. Yeah, several of them. She's about to push a button. It's my fault she's late. Well, Foxes, why would you do such a thing? No pressure, Kitsu. Like, no pressure, Kitsu. Our raid message is, counting foxes. And then you can use your heart or fear emote. Like, counting foxes. Because we're counting in Japanese and using numbers again. Alright, thank you guys for coming in for today's lesson. The next lesson will be on Monday. I don't think I'll be streaming tomorrow, now that I think about it. Is that like counting blue cars? Yes. The counter for animals is hiki? So, ippiki, nibiki, sanbiki, yonhiki. It's counting. Counting foxes. So that will be our raid message. Thank you guys again for coming in. That will be it. Next lesson, again, will be on Monday. Not sure if I'll be streaming tomorrow, but if I am, it'll probably be Final Fantasy VIII. I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.